I choose people whose lives are shrouded in mystery and they've climbed the greasy pole. They want to be famous, they want to be influential, they want to be powerful.
Prince Harry will not make Meghan Markle a billionaire. She wants to be a billionaire. So who will? A new man. At some point, if it's offered up, it might happen. That is why she is constantly meeting new billionaires.
They want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
She will take her royal kids, who can still go by prince and princess, and find the billionaire.
Tom Bower didn't just expose Meghan Markle. He dismantled the myth she spent years rehearsing. For the longest time, the world was sold a fairy tale, a modern Diana, silenced, compassionate, misunderstood. But Bower's latest revelations tore through that illusion like a floodlight cutting through smoke. What he uncovered isn't tragedy, it's strategy. And suddenly, every tear, every headline, every speech starts to look less like emotion and more like choreography.
But in the end, nothing beats the truth, the real fact. So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to play out?
She called her life a love story. He calls it a performance. Because behind the speeches on kindness and authenticity is an actress who mastered sincerity better than most Hollywood veterans. Until the script collapsed. The woman who preached equality trademarked a royal baby's nickname. The woman who preached independence lived off the institution she condemned. Victimhood became her currency, and now the receipts are public. Tonight isn't about gossip or tabloids. It's about documents, witnesses, and timelines that don't lie, even when she does. This is
And that ridiculous story about how they first met. The whole thing was a tissue of inaccuracies, to be polite. That she arrived in London, full career, single girl, wasn't interested. Of course, she'd been coming to London since 2013, hunting for a man to marry. She wanted an Englishman. She was on a manhunt. And she wanted wealth and she wanted fame. And she targeted, there's no doubt, she targeted Harry.
London, 2025. The palace halls are quieter, but the whispers never stopped. At the center stands Tom Bower, not a gossip columnist, but the biographer world leaders fear to correct. Decades of archives, cross-checked sources, affidavits that could survive a courtroom. That's why Harry and Meghan, for all their threats, have never dared to challenge him legally. His latest work isn't a book. It's a forensic autopsy of Meghan's public persona. A timeline stitched together from Toronto sets to Montecito mansions. And every thread leads back to one pattern: reinvention every time the truth gets too close.
Meghan Markle plans to leave Prince Harry to become a billionaire.
Harry, being a simple soul, has easily changed to suit Meghan's agenda.
Former aides recalled charm that flipped to fury in seconds. Producers described deals that vanished when the spotlight wasn't centered on her. Even royal staff, once silenced by NDAs, now confirm what insiders whispered for years. The Meghan scene on camera was a character crafted offstage. Every witness, every document, every contradiction points to one conclusion: the brand was always the goal, and the marriage was the vehicle. This isn't the tale of a misunderstood duchess. It's the blueprint of a calculated takeover.
Why isn't anybody questioning this? Karina Shuliak was Jeffrey Epstein's last known girlfriend. She is on record saying that the only times she flew on a plane, went on a yacht, or whatever was with her boyfriend, Jeffrey Epstein. And here we have Rachel Meghan Markle parading on a yacht since 2014, at the very least that these pictures emerged there.
Her public image was sculpted with Hollywood precision, soft lighting, tearful interviews, perfectly timed charity photo ops. The message was always the same: she's the victim, not the villain. And the world believed it, until the paperwork started talking. The moment Lily became one of the most controversial baby names, web archives revealed something stunning. Harry and Meghan secured the domain before the Queen even knew. A sacred nickname turned into intellectual property. When the palace corrected their story, the Sussex team denied, threatened, doubled down. Not a misunderstanding, a transaction. And for Tom Bower, this was the first unmistakable fingerprint: emotion first, evidence later.
And this is from a woman who attacks her father mercilessly in the series.
Meghan, she loves me. I'm a hero. And suddenly I was thrown out.
The deeper Bauer dug, the more her origin stories cracked. The struggling latchkey child narrative dissolves under receipts. Private school, ballet lessons, new cars, and tuition fully paid by the father she later erased. The same man who filmed her smiling in luxury now recast as an abuser in her revised script. Even her iconic activism tale, The Soap Commercial Letter, has no trace in corporate archives. A story that exists nowhere except in her retellings. But everything changed after the Oprah interview. Bauer cross-checked every claim against official documents and palace logs. 17 contradictions, from the impossible secret wedding to the false claim that Archie was denied a title because of skin color, when royal laws had said otherwise for centuries. When exposed, she didn't correct. She pivoted. Every falsehood became another performance. Even the Australia tour, the trip that made her a global sensation, was internally chaos. Shouting matches, thrown tea.
We're being brainwashed by these Hollywood people who think this is the way to make money and, in the end, destroy our monarchy to make their fortune. Meghan has got no real income anymore. She's finished.
Right.
The Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast. They don't generate any money. And I don't see where she is going from here. I think she has a major problem.
Patterns don't lie. People do. And when Bauer lined up every contradiction, a disturbing choreography appeared. Each lie served a purpose. Each contradiction protected one thing: control. The childhood fairy tale, the royal victimhood, the feminist crusade, all engineered to manufacture sympathy while monetizing outrage. By the time Netflix rolled in, the machine was running at full speed. The truth-telling series was already edited while
The idea that she was Diana was always a fantasy, both of herself and of Harry. And Harry completely misunderstood his mother, who he obviously barely knew, and didn't realize what a manipulative and determined woman she was herself.
Coincidence or calculation? Maybe she never lied by accident. Maybe the illusion was the plan. Because every move Meghan made mirrored someone who came before her, Diana. But where Diana's pain was real, Meghan's became a performance. Copy-paste poses, recycled quotes, identical glances to the camera, all stitched together like she was auditioning for the role of a lifetime. Insiders say she even contacted Earl Spencer with a chilling request: permission to use the Spencer surname for future branding. He refused instantly. Some legacies cannot be bought.
Actually, when they were also filming for the Netflix series that he asked Charles Spencer, because for some reason Meghan didn't like the surname Mountbatten Windsor. If you remember, in her first lifestyle series with Meghan with them forever, she says to Carling that her surname isn't Markle but Sussex. And she was desperate to get it. She said, we never had a proper surname. Of course they did.
Now the illusion is shattered. Not a princess reborn. An actress, trapped in her own mirror. For years, compassion was her favorite word. She wore it like a crown. She engraved it on charity slogans. But Bauer's findings paint a colder truth. Compassion wasn't a virtue, it was a disguise. Emails from former staff revealed tirades that left aides in tears. Those who tried to help were erased. Those who challenged her were labeled unstable, toxic, racist. Even family became props. Her father praised when useful, discarded when not. During the Queen's funeral, unity was her costume. But in California, editors were finalizing.
Meghan Markle knew that, and she manipulated him because of that. Then, when she got everything that she wanted, right?
In the end, her kindness feels rehearsed. Her compassion feels produced. Her outrage sounds like dialogue from a press release. Because when you monetize mercy and trademark trauma, you may protect the brand, but you lose the soul. Maybe the official story was true. Maybe she was misunderstood. Maybe she was crushed by the marketed it and sold it wrapped in sympathy and sparkle. Tom Bauer didn't ruin her image. He simply turned on the lights. And when the spotlight shifted, the scenery peeled away, revealing not a victim, but an architect. And if you think this was the final act, it isn't. Because what happens next takes the illusion she built and burns it on a much bigger stage. The lifestyle brand collapses. Products return faster than they ship. Investors pull back. The audience stops clapping. It isn't the end of her story. It's the end of the performance.